Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
It's Bobby and Taylor, East Carolina Brides. Another episode. Man, we've been doing this for like 3 or 4 months now.
Jeez. Wow.
Time kind of flies, you know.
Yeah.
We're about to hit episode 20. This is 19, so I mean, been rolling right along, man.
Cool,
I'm
yeah.
excited to see it continue to grow. And appreciate anybody that's been watching. I know our views kind of go like up and down, but you know, really, whenever we have a guest, it
That's when it
usually
blows up.
Yeah, it blows up a little bit,
So
and
nobody cares to see us.
I guess not. I think that's how it happens on most podcasts, though. You know,
I was just joking.
yeah, I don't take it personally.
Yeah.
We'll always have sort of more random topics when we're here together, you know, and it gets a little more focused, surprisingly, you know, when we have a guest. You think it'd get all over the place. But,
Right, yeah.
and, you know, we're going to have another guest soon, but today, you know, we're getting close to the end of March, man. It's been kind of
It's been a long march.
Yeah, it has. It seems like it's been like, for me anyways, I've had a lot of deals blow up in my face. And what should have been a deal, there's some kind of weird thing that happens that just turns it to dust. And sometimes, you know, you're going to deal with that and getting a little slump. It can be a little disheartening, but, you know, it's like the old saying, you pick yourself up by your own shoelaces or bootlaces or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever the saying
Yeah.
is. How's your month going so far?
Not great. Like, it's just, it's long, man. It's just been a long march,
Yeah.
you know.
We do have 31 days in March, I think, right? And we had to kind of start late with February ending on a weird day. And it was like, I don't know, it's like there was a sense of urgency right there at the end of February. We had like a major hustle right before the end of the month, and then the bottom fell out. I don't know what happened. It was like either the consumer, what do you call it? You know, their confidence level maybe dropped. You know, we're of course dealing with stuff in Iran, and it's always up and down in this business. And so, I mean, I never look at anything as permanent, because just yesterday, I mean, I kind of look at the market. I don't know if you ever watched the stock market, but
A little bit.
it has the same sorts of ups and downs. It almost correlates pretty closely to the car business and the ups and downs I see in it after watching it for the last like 4 or 5 years. And I'm not going to claim to be any kind of market expert.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No real sense of all that, just from my experience of just observing it. But it shot up yesterday. And then today it's kind of evened back out, because mainly it all kind of correlates to news and what's going on in the world. You know, we got RAM shortages, you know, as far as memory.
Right.
Not RAMs on the lot, because we got plenty of those. Matter of fact, I wanted to make sure we talked about it. You know, the Rams got the great deal going on. By the time this airs on Friday, it'll be the last few days that people can take advantage of it, because it's a limited time thing. But the 2.9% for 72, plus rebates, you know, which you know, that's something that you don't see on a brand new year model. Like, we've only had 26s but for so long, and to have a rebate combined with incentivized rates is rare, if not almost in the last 3 years never seen. You know, on a pickup truck. So, not since before COVID. You know, COVID days were different.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're finally starting to see it keel out, and I'm hoping that it kind of points to rates in general starting to drop, but we'll see. And I you know, this last, what do we have, 6 days? I'm gonna be hustling, man. I can't go out with single digits.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
Well, I had a struggle in February, and it just continued right on into March. So I think school's starting back kind of affected me a little bit. I feel like.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I can imagine after the first few weeks of that sort of orientation time for school, you suddenly are into like the thick of things
Yeah.
by the time March comes around.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's I mean, I have my little side projects and things that I'm doing on the side, but it's not like I have a grade to try to achieve what I'm doing, whatever I'm doing on the side. It may take some of my time and energy away, but school is a whole different ballgame, man.
Yeah.
Um,
One of the guys that we work with, he comes up to me every now and then, and like, February at least, January and February, like the second half of January, bragging about how much he's got out and like kind of hinting at that he wanted to outsell me.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, just sitting there thinking, like, I mean, I guess that's cool,
Right.
but like I'm gone, you know. I work half days Monday,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
Wednesday I can't come in.
It's like the bragging rights is great and all, but
Yeah.
you got a little bit of a handicap.
You got to put it into context of the whole situation.
Right.
you
It's
know.
like going out to the golf course with Tiger Woods and being like, all right, I'm going to go in with a 12-stroke handicap,
Right.
you know, and you're still a pro
And
player.
you're playing with one arm.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tiger's just come out of back surgery.
yeah. Yeah. So, I don't say nothing. I just kind of let them have it, like whatever.
Yeah.
But
And
that's
then I'm
always
trying to
in the back
equate
of
you
my
to
head.
Tiger Woods in the car sales, you know. I get,
Yeah, that might be a little bit.
I'm you know, I'm being a little exaggerating, but you know, I think that we have to kind of be that way though in our minds. You know, we have to believe that either we're the greatest or that we're going to be the greatest. I think in car sales, it's just like a mindset thing. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
You know, we're always striving to be as good as we can be, to be realistic too. you know. But you know, some people can't talk their way out of a paper bag. You know, they were getting negotiating and just you know throw their hands over like, fine, take it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, then there's people that are almost too aggressive, and to a certain point where it near about becomes a fight. You know, to hold an extra $500 on a deal, you know, and then it shuts the whole thing down.
It's just the whole runs them off.
Yep. So
Take my
it's-
business elsewhere.
Right.
I don't blame you, sir.
Yeah, I near about punched you in the face. That was probably a bad move on my part. So
Yeah.
I understand if you need to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Do you ever fire a customer?
Yeah.
Do you fire customers?
You got to. Sometimes you got to. It's, you know, I think that there are times where you can salvage it, but there's a certain point, you know, everybody's got their point, their breaking point. And I mean, it takes a lot to get me to that point. I try to have as much patience as I can. But there are times where it's just like, okay, we've been around the circle. Sometimes it feels like an endless loop,
Right.
you know, and you know, I almost consider it a stalemate at a certain point, you know. Like I do have a customer right now that I'm negotiating with, and I know it's not even really a fair negotiation. We're taking $12,000 off of our 25 Wrangler, $12,000 on a vehicle that typically holds its value pretty well in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's already a really great deal.
Yeah.
But the person says, okay, well, I don't really need these features. That's stuff that's extra to me that I don't want to pay for that. And it's built into the MSRP.
That's the wackest argument from a consumer to me. Like see, I would have fired him right then. I'd have been like, all right, man, have a good day.
Yeah, and I mean,
Like
I've
that
leveled
don't make
with them,
no sense.
you
dude.
know, and that
Like saying you don't need those features, you're still going to get the benefit of it. Whether
Right.
you need it or don't need it,
right.
you still have it.
Yeah.
So because you have it, like you go and you buy a steak, you don't say, well, I don't need the seasoning on it.
Yeah, I don't need all that fat. Can you cut that off and weigh it
No.
and take that off as a discount?
No, absolutely not.
The fat's the best part, sir. Well, I don't really need it.
Yeah.
Well, it comes with the steak. You know, it's
No.
part of the package.
You get the seasoning that comes with it.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes it good. That's what makes what you're purchasing worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people just want to use that as their argument or their negotiation tactic. Well, sir, like, have a good day.
And in other cases, it can be a valid argument, and we can switch to another vehicle
All day.
You know,
But you're not getting that same discount
right.
on one of
There's
these
a
others.
reason why we've got $12,000 off is because it's one of our last two, now down to one Wrangler.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is that if you don't hurry up and jump on this,
It's
somebody else is going to take
yeah,
advantage.
And then you're going to miss out on the whole opportunity, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So-
that's a problem for you, not me.
Right.
Like,
yeah. At that point,
like-
the dealership's happy. I might not be that happy because I didn't sell
Unless
it.
you get I think the greatest feeling in the world is a person who is playing games on a vehicle, like just acting like they don't like, oh, well, you know, this and that, but they really want it. And then they decide they want to think about it or whatever, and they leave, and that's fine. Like, yeah, I understand completely.
Right.
But then you turn right around, and you, as the salesman, sell it to the next person that comes in
It's
and
happened,
purchases
yeah.
it.
I've-
That's what
I've done it.
It's such a great feeling to sit there and sell it to the
Like,
next
man,
person.
I
And then they
was just
turn
showing
around.
somebody this.
Yeah, and then they turn around and hit you up like the next day and be like, "Hey, I think I'm ready to purchase." Nah,
Yeah. You
it's
know,
gone.
the opportunity has come to pass, sir,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah, yeah. Probably shouldn't have thought so hard.
Yeah.
Maybe those features are something that you wanted after all.
Yeah. And ultimately, I want to. I want to understand where people are coming from.
No,
You
I
know?
don't understand that. I'm sorry.
I try to put myself in their shoes, and and a lot of times it can. I want to be a customer advocate, but I have to be my own advocate too. I have to advocate for the dealership a bit. It's mostly about trying to put a deal together, and somewhere we can meet in the middle. But once we've already given all our side of the middle up,
Yeah,
the middle becomes much smaller, and it ain't a $4,000 or $5,000 difference we're going to be looking at. It's maybe a couple $100 at the most. I mean, and that's
if that.
yeah, that's
$12,000.
No,
No, man, you
Yeah.
gotta. You need to take it.
we've already cut all the fat off.
Yeah, like it's all
Yeah.
gone, dude. Like
Yeah.
you can't keep like at some point you have to put your foot down and be like, all right, man, like this is a great deal.
Yeah.
Like you need to stop trying to negotiate off of what is already a great deal for you, and take it. Like
Right.
we're not gonna sit here and hold this vehicle.
No, it's
to-
like the clearance sale. You got one or two left on the shelf. Clearance means that they're clearing them out.
Yeah.
That means once it's gone, they're cleared out. That's
Well,
what a
the
clearance
next
sale
person's
is.
gonna come in. The problem is the next person. Like you're sitting here negotiating with this guy, and then what comes into my mind already, as far as this goes, like you're sitting here negotiating from $12,000 off of this vehicle. Like, what's going to be the problem after you purchase?
yeah, it does tend to be the people that we end up laying over for, or whatever you want to call it, end up having issues, or there's a problem, or there's some tiny thing. Oh, there's the tires are a little flat because it's been sitting,
Yeah.
or there's little things that if
They're not
they-
Michelin tires.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
crazy.
these are
Something
Pirellis,
insane,
not Michelin's.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't really like it anymore. It's just like, you get the inch and suddenly the mile is next.
Yeah,
and,
that's-
so yeah, I'm currently dealing with that, and I don't know. I mean, I want to put the deal together. I'm a take an offer. I at least got them to thinking more reasonably. Because it's all about being able to effectively communicate, and I think that sometimes can be difficult, especially when you're approaching somebody that you view as being unreasonable.
Yeah.
Because it's going to happen. People are going to throw crazy numbers out there sometimes, and I get it because maybe it's like, especially in like older folks, the memory of dealerships just like having this huge markup in their vehicles, or the perception of it. Because I don't think they even really had that much back then. It's not like there was a 30% markup in vehicles
Yeah.
30 years ago.
Well, they just wanted to beat out the next dealer, is what their thoughts were.
right.
Like, if I lose this crazy amount of money on this vehicle, they'll buy from me instead of going to the next guy and buying. So, and that's where it come from. Like, I wonder how many customers back then actually negotiated. And it was really just like, okay, well, I'll just, have to sit on it and think about it. And because they thought about it, the dealer's way of stopping them from thinking and stopping them from, going home was to just bottom it out. And that was, that's where the perception comes from. Oh, well, you had all this markup in it that you were holding on me,
And
So-
cash flow was a little different too back then. It's like the banks didn't send money like that. It used to be that you'd have to wait
Days.
sometimes month,
Week,
2 months,
yeah.
3 months before the bank check cleared and you got the cash.
You had to fax everything over to the
by
bank.
Yeah, everything was slow.
Yeah.
And cash flow was big. Somebody said, "Yeah, take $2 extra thousand off because I got
Cash right now.
It
And
used to
they'd
be
like,
that
"All right."
way, but now cash flow is different, and cash really,
Next day.
That's-
By the next day, we probably are already paid on that vehicle.
yeah. So it's of course that misconception that consumers still tend to have is that cash is king, but
It's not.
it's not. In fact, I saw
It's
this in the
barely
news.
even the joker.
In New York, they had to enact a law to make it to where stores had to accept cash. There were stores that were starting to not accept cash.
Well, I know
Not
in
dealerships,
some
but just
places,
stores.
yeah. Well, I know dealerships, they're starting to get letters. I think I saw this the other day, and I don't know how true it is. And I'm not going to quote sources because I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I saw the other day where they were saying that, because one thing I'm not a fan of, and I've never been a fan of it. I remember even when we first semi-started it, is markups, dealer markups.
Oh, yeah.
That is something that irritates
that's
me.
true. Yeah, they did come out with that.
Yeah, so
recently.
that is something that has,
97
yeah,
dealership groups.
yeah, wow.
Yeah.
But that is something that has always, even with ours, and ours is just like a $348.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
next to nothing.
Right.
And you get on all of these like social medias, TikToks or whatever, and consumers are talking about how they'll go to a store and they see one price online and it goes from that price to like $6,000 or $7,000 more
Right.
because they've added window tint, they've added like whatever floor mats, this fake ceramic coating, dude.
Yeah. It's a long
I would
list.
not work for a dealership that does that. I personally,
would
I
have a very,
refuse.
I would have a very
I
difficult time.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
is ridiculous.
If
dude.
they could justify, they would have to sell me. The dealership would have to sell me as an employee.
They got- yeah,
to,
like in-
how this is going to actually really be that much value.
Yeah.
I have to believe in my product.
Like window tint, I understand. That's something that's like a lot of customers like it, but
Right.
also it needs to be an option.
Yeah.
Like it don't need to be like you're made to purchase this window tint.
Right, and you don't even if it's already been put on, you don't get to choose your percentage. You don't get,
Yeah, like
there's no
it's-
customization options. It just is what it is. So that doesn't make sense to me either. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'll sit there and get on TikTok or whatever, and I'll listen to these videos of all these consumers that are so upset and hate dealers. And I just like, why? Like, I don't understand. And then you listen to them talk, and they're bashing salesmen. And it's like, well, darn, like, I ain't did nothing to you. And,
Right.
but then you hear them out, and when they finally get to the part, they're like, "Oh, well, I went and tried to buy this truck, and then they had like $7,000 markup on all this stuff that I didn't care about." And I'm like, "Oh, there it is. That makes sense." So I kind of understand that.
Yeah, and it's so bad that some of these dealers, it feels like a bait and switch.
I think I
you know.
lost track of what I was saying. I'm sorry. But yeah,
the
they sent
markup.
out letters
Yeah.
saying that like
Dealership
you
groups.
can't mark up vehicles because of cash anymore,
Right.
or if you do, you have to disclose that before a consumer gets to your lot.
Right. Yeah.
Like you can't wait until they get to the lot to disclose this information. You know, if
And
you
just like
bring
on
your
our
own
website,
outside
you know,
finance.
If you scroll down to the bottom, we have disclosures
Yeah.
talking about the wheel locks, nitrogen, talking about the
But ours
dealer
is
fee.
$348.
Yeah, yeah. Our
Yeah.
stuff's pretty minimal when you look at the comparables,
Yeah.
and it comes with some extra value. We don't really. I know a lot of salespeople in there don't talk about it, but
But they
you
don't.
get a wheel hazard protection. You know,
Right.
there you get patches for the first year if you ever end up having a tire issue. You know, you've got a lot of coverage that the nitrogen company actually does pay out on those
Right.
claims.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a tire go out within the first year, You get $150 towards a replacement tire. And wheel lock keys, I mean, look, nobody ever knows where they're going to need to park their car. They might need to leave it overnight somewhere that maybe they
Portland,
don't trust, and then suddenly they got their
Out
car
in Chicago.
Yeah. If you don't have wheel locks and you live in Chicago, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
But if you end up having to go somewhere and suddenly you're leaving it overnight, and you're sitting on cinder blocks, you're like, you know what?
Probably should have got those wheel locks
That
in
probably
those.
would have been a good idea.
Yeah.
So, you know that, and I get both sides of the argument. You know that, hey, I never really asked for that, and you know that you already put it on there. Well, it's protecting us and you. It's kind of like a thing as a it's a security feature.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's always going to be a way as being salespeople and being in the business as long as we have, we kind of know how to at least explain it. You can't just slap it on there and say, there it is, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
You know, I at least give them some value. You know, you
Yeah,
gotta
that's
build
the
some
most
value.
ridiculous thing in like a $5,000 markup on what?
Yeah.
Ceramic. You know, it's not even like you pay those guys minimum.
Right.
Like you pay those guys $7.95 or $10 an hour to put they didn't put that stuff on right. You know.
It's and you know, dealerships got to make profit, and maybe they feel like they.
That's getting over.
That is. I'll admit. I think
that's
that's
getting
pushing
over.
the limits.
Yeah, we're doing too much
you
on
know,
that. Like I can't stand that. Like that grinds my gears.
It does kind of give us as salespeople a bad name because they come here and they think, oh man, now I got to be aware that this is happening to people and that it's probably going to happen if I come to any dealership.
Well, some people I've seen get relief whenever they see, it's 348. I mean,
Right.
they still try to negotiate that or whatever, and that's like not like I remember coming back from here, and they were putting it on there, and the customer would be like, "Well, I don't need real oxygen nitrogen." I'd be like, "I don't even negotiate that part, guys." It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna make a big deal about it.
Right.
Like,
I always get down to the bottom line. Ultimately, it's usually about either the bottom line or a payment.
Yeah.
Somebody's writing a check, bottom line. If somebody's got a budget in mind, trying to get to a certain payment, maybe we can work things out. It may not necessarily always come off the bottom line, but there might be ways that we can make it work for your budget. And you're still getting the added value of that stuff, but you're still within your budget.
yeah.
You know, it's all about the perceived value, you know, and I think anytime your perceived value exceeds the price of the vehicle, that you've got the beginnings of, if not already, a car deal.
Yeah.
That's I think salesmen in general just go out there and open the doors and be like, hey, this has got heated seats, this has got a tailgate that lifts up on its own,
Yeah.
hop in, let's drive it, you know.
Yeah.
They're missing the whole point of the benefit. You know, there are benefits to every single feature, and as they say, what is the saying? Every benefit without a feature is an expense. I think
Every
that's-
feature without a benefit is an expense.
Yeah,
So just vice versa, yeah.
there you go. Yeah. So it's something we have been taught, and new people get taught quite a bit. Well, you see,
We got 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Oh, look. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been rolling along. I did want to mention one thing, and I think it was important. Yesterday, I got to go to a luncheon talking about things that I think were important to any business, but especially in the car business, because I think a lot of salespeople feel isolated in this business. There was a guy, Jay Glazer. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's a sports announcer or whatever. But anybody that's watching this, I just want to put it out there, and Taylor will do it too, but if anybody wants to talk about what they're dealing with, you can find somebody in the business, whether it be a manager, whether it be a coworker that's maybe your buddy or whatever. I would recommend anybody in the car business have a buddy. So like, for instance, if you're not able to come in when you got a customer coming in, have that person to kind of rely on so that you have somebody to be able to take care of your customers. But being able to talk about the ups and downs, and that's like these episodes that we've been doing, it's kind of therapeutic for me. In a way, we talk about some of the gripes that we have and some of the things that we deal with, and so I think it's really kind of helped me. But for people that don't necessarily have either the time or the resources to do a podcast like we have, and even time for us sometimes a little snug. We're getting close to the meeting time now, so I wanted to talk about this a little bit more. But I think he wrote a book about mental health, turning it into mental wealth, and taking what's perceived as a fault or a flaw and turning it into your superpower. And the speech kind of moved me. I want to read the book after he talked about it, because I think we do deal with some pretty hard lows in the car business sometimes. We have those great highs, when you have a sale and you have a streak of them. But anybody that's watching this, if you're having those ups and downs, come talk to me, Taylor. I mean, I'm volunteering Taylor, but he may not want to talk to you right then, but he understands, just like I understand, and being in this business so long, sometimes you just need a quick little reminder that it takes some patience sometimes being in this business, and especially now with this lower side of things, because business hasn't been as great. You have to remember that it's not always going to be this way. We deal with the ups and downs, and that if you maintain that positive attitude and you keep yourself kind of motivated and to continue to serve, I feel like serving and having faith, those are some things that are really important to keeping yourself in the right mindset. And that's something that's really important to me, and I know you too, is faith and making sure you look to your higher power, being grateful, having gratitude for the things that you have, and listing those things sometimes, can help to remind you in the times where there's maybe doubt of the things that are going on in this moment are not permanent. And so I just wanted to put that out there, because and the things that he said, I wanted to sort of reflect on that a little bit. We don't have a whole lot of time to talk about it, but that was what I got from it, is that we have to maintain our mental health in this field, because it's tough sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
I consider you a friend. I talk to you sometimes about things that are going kind of just sideways on deals. You talk to me sometimes. We have people that you can't do it alone, and that's what it all kind of comes down to.
It's true.
But of course, we're going to continue this fun streak here, go to number 20. That's I feel like a momentous episode. We have to do some kind of special thing for episode 20. But I'm excited to continue on this journey, man. I'm going to get off to George's meeting.
Yeah.
And anything you got before we roll out of here?
I think that's it. I think that's everything.
Close out March strong,
Yeah.
Get ourselves another few dozen sales.
Yeah. In 6 days.
That's right. But thanks for watching, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
All right, guys.
Later.